everyone. My name is Alexandra Moya, and I chose to do a short video / PowerPoint for my M1 Professional Growth Journal 1. So, a little bit more about my career background. I taught second grade for about a year. That was from 2019 to 2020. Then I taught first grade for 2 years, so 2020 to 2022. And then just last year, I actually made the switch from general education to computer science. So, I teach K through 5 computer science. This is my second year teaching in the same field, and I'm fortunate enough to see all the students. So, I get to see one of each grade level per day for about an hour. So, current courses that I have taken, I'm currently on the process of getting my master's degree. So, I'm getting my master's in education with my special education endorsement. So, I've taken SPE 558, 513, 502, and then I also completed my field work experience. So, in terms of looking at integrative learning, my professional career has helped me a lot in understanding how this process actually works. Whenever I did teach first grade, second grade, I had a lot of students who were successfully into mainstreamed into my classroom. So the year before that, they were placed in self-contained classrooms. I had about three the year before, and they were the students that would attend resource to help assist them with any academic need, but they were able to integrate so successfully and beautifully within my classroom. The way these courses have assisted me is it really helped me understand specifically the IEP process and what that means, how to find the least restrictive environment, and how that comes to play with integrated learning, looking at the modification and accommodations, the physical space that the student is in, as well as the student intervention implementation. So, my field experience was also such a wealth of knowledge for helping me understand the integrated learning and what that looks like. So, I was fortunate enough to have been placed into an in-person self-contained classroom which serviced students K through 2, and the main purpose of this specific classroom was to find the least restrictive environment for students and mainstream or integrate students into general education classrooms. So, the year that I interned there were actually 3 students who were pushed into general education classrooms, receiving resource services, and 4 students who were placed into an integrated special schedule. So, the way that the teacher that I was in, my mentor, made sure that the students were successful is each student had to follow specific expectations required for the whole school. One of them being morning meeting, where they are able to practice whole group instruction, which is expected within general education instruction. The modifications also, they're similar throughout the entire school. So whether they're in a self-contained classroom or a general education classroom, these are visuals that they would see everywhere. So I touched a little bit more about it earlier, but we do have a morning meeting or special integration model, which varies depending on student need. So for the special integration model, I'm super fortunate enough to be a part of it as I serve as a special education teacher. And what happens is the self-contained teachers select a class for a student to join during that class's specials time. Usually they pick one that has either small numbers or very calm children. They come once a week with that class and they participate either on the same classwork or modified assignments. The biggest focus that we know our role is serving is to allow students to collaborate with peers within that same grade level. Oh, the one with morning meeting is pretty similar. They would just pick that same classroom, attend that grade level or that teacher's morning meeting, and then return to their classrooms for the rest of instruction. So in terms of ethical practices, this is one of the practice statements that my school really focuses on heavily, which is Griffith Elementary is a learning community dedicated to nurturing each child's academic and social emotional potential through high expectations. So all of our special education teachers are guided by the Council of Exceptional Children's professional and ethical principles, practices, standards, and professional policies in ways that respect each diverse characteristic and needs of the individuals with exceptionalities and their families. So we are committed to upholding and advancing the following principles. The first one I highlighted green because I do believe it is a strength that I have, which is maintaining high expectations, respecting their dignity, culture, language, and background. We have so much diversity at my school. We respect and understand and try to get to know the culture and the background that these children come with, but we maintain those high expectations because we know that they're more than capable of meeting them. The one that I highlighted in yellow was developing relationships with family based on mutual respect and involving families and individuals with exceptionalities into educational policy making decisions. So the reason I highlighted that one yellow is because I do believe it's currently a weakness and something that I would like to strengthen throughout this year. So while we do have so many IEP meetings and check-ins and progress reports, and I am one one of the point people for these IEP meetings. I attend almost every single one. I would like to have my own personal interaction with these families, get to know them beforehand, and make it a note that I am the one that reaches out to them, just to keep them within the loop, specifically with the content that I teach. Here are a couple other ethical practices that we are committed to upholding. And the biggest one is we understand that we have to demonstrate empathy, work with these families, mentor these families to allow consistency in their learning spaces and their homes, and document small growth steps. So, in terms of evidence based practices and high leverage practices, as I reflect on this, I understand that it is really important to look at the independent facts of the intervention or the strategy or the practice, make sure it is efficient, and determine beforehand how it will affect student behavior. So digging deeper, looking specifically at the context in an unbiased way to find out what works best for each individual student, understanding that no size fits all, so it is a cycle, observing, implementing, altering, adjusting, recording, and repeating until something does click. And there are strengths and weaknesses with every single principle that is implemented. So just trying to find one that's closely aligned to teaching practices, doing the best to stick to it, as consistency is key. So I am in love with technology. I love technology. So one of the high leverage practices that I definitely did a deep dive in was number 19, using assisted instructional technologies. So currently within my school, there's a lot of accessibility. We have a lot of accessibility technology and software, such as Text to Talk 2.0, personal Chromebooks that have a lot of software. So high leverage practice number 19, which focuses on selecting these technologies to support students and the needs of students with disabilities. I really did a deep dive into figuring out which products promote student learning independence. So this is just a branched out version of what assistive technology can look like. It appeals to a variety of different kinds of needs that students may have. And one of the ones that I researched the most for one of my classes was the Kurzweil 3000, which was a TTS software for individuals who struggle with literacy. Here I kind of just break down a little bit more about what it is, what it does. It's a full software program that integrates abilities that can help students with a variety of areas. And that is pretty much it. So I really liked this reflection. It allowed me to reflect deeper on my own personal growth and all the knowledge that I've gained so far. So I appreciate that. Thank you so much, and have a great day.